Hello, good afternoon. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. It is, of course, Matchday Live. This game was billed as a potential title decider, wasn't it, a few months ago? But that is all long finished, of course. Liverpool have already been crowned champions. We will be giving them a guard of honour this afternoon at Anfield. And the game is, well, pretty pointless, really, isn't it? But let's see if we can find a way to spoil their party. So, Matchday Live from Anfield, of course, Liverpool versus Arsenal, the new Premier League champions, of course, versus the, well, pretenders, I suppose, you could really say we are. It's been obviously a tough week, hasn't it? Losing in the Champions League semi-final, watching other English clubs go on to reach European finals. And all we've really got left to play for is trying to hang on to second place. Even the top four is looking, when you look at the fixtures that we've got left, of course, Newcastle won today. Of course, they visit the Emirates next weekend. If we lose today, they then beat us. We could potentially be down to fourth, couldn't we, going into the last game of the season? So there is something resting on this game, I suppose, but it has got an end of season feel to it. The weather, everything else, it just feels like a nothing game, really, doesn't it? But there's been so many great games here over the years, hasn't there? Arsenal versus Liverpool at Anfield has been one of the games that's brought us so many great memories, hasn't it? You know, as Arsenal fans in particular, there's one game that obviously we'll always remember, but there's been lots of memorable games between the sides here at Anfield over the years. A 4-4 draw, of course, if you remember that one a few years ago, the Arshavin match. And yeah, this one, unfortunately, probably won't live up to that, will it? Because of the circumstances of the game. Now, we've got some team news for you, of course, as always. So this is our Arsenal lineup for this game. Not too many changes, which is a little bit of a surprise, really. I thought maybe this was a chance to give a few other players a chance. But anyway, it's David Raya in goal. The back four, Ben White, William Saliba, Jacob Kiwior and Miles Lewis-Skelly. In midfield, Thomas Partey, Mikel Merino drops into midfield today, and Martin Odegaard, the captain. And the front three, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard is playing in the, well, I suppose it's a false nine, really, isn't it? On the bench then for Arsenal, it's goalkeeper Alberto Neto, Ricardo Calafiore, Kieran Tierney, Julien Timber, Alexander Zinchenko, Francis Henry, Ethan Nwaneri, Raheem Sterling and Nathan Butler-Adjei. So that is the Arsenal team for Liverpool, the champions, and this is how they line up. It is Alisson Becker in goal. Their back four is Conor Bradley, Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk, the captain, and Andrew Robertson, his 250th appearance for Liverpool. In midfield, it is Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch, and Dominic Szoboszlai. And their front three is Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, and of course the Premier League top scorer, Mohamed Salah. On the bench then for Liverpool, it is Corinne Keller, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jarrell Quansah, Kostas Tsimikas, Ouattara Endo, Harvey Elliott, Alexis McAllister, Darwin Núñez, and Diogo Jota. So they're the team lineups. And what are we thinking, guys? What is your score predictions for this game? To be honest with you, does it matter really what the score is? I don't know. We haven't lost a game against one of the so-called Big Six for a while. We know that. We haven't won at Anfield in the league since 2012. So it's nearly 13 years since we last won here in the league. We did win a penalty shootout here in the League Cup in the COVID season with no fans, but that doesn't really count, does it? So it's been a long time since we've won at Anfield. They are not going to want to lose at home, are they? You know, since they sealed the title in their last home game against Tottenham, they did lose at Chelsea. They're unlikely to want to lose at home, are they? So you'd imagine that they're going to put in a performance. The pressure's off. They're out of the cups. They've got no cup finals to play for, and the pressure's off in a home game in the sunshine. You'd expect they're just going to relax and play some football. And and they'll enjoy the day. I mean, for Arsenal, there's we've got more pressure on needing a result, I suppose, when you look at the position in the table, teams below us closing in on us rapidly, and whether that's going to make a difference in the overall scheme of things or not, I'm not sure, but let's see. I mean, it's how we respond really to the other night. The disappointment of losing that semi-final. We saw how upset the players were, and I think that quite often when you lose a big semi-final in the way that we did, it can completely throw your focus off, can't it, for the next games that's left in the season, especially if there's not a massive amount riding on it. Even if we lost all 3 games, you'd imagine we're probably still going to finish top 5, which will be enough for Champions League next season. There isn't that much jeopardy really for Arsenal in these last few games. Yes, it'd be nice to win them all, wouldn't it? And finish second, but not that makes a lot of difference, really, does it? Finishing second or finishing 5th this season is pretty much the same thing when you look at the outcome of it. Is Champions League, isn't it? So it's all a little bit down and flat, isn't it, really, from an Arsenal perspective? And it's all about looking ahead to next season, which has to be better. It has to be better. Another season without a trophy. That's 5 in a row now under Mikel Arteta. And people say we've come closer this year, but all we've technically done is gone 1 round further in the Champions League than we did last year. So what? We reached the semi-final of the League Cup and lost both legs convincingly to Newcastle. So that wasn't really much of an improvement on anything, really, was it? And of course, we went out the FA Cup at the first time of asking. And in the league, we've got 20-odd points less than we had at this point last season. So I think this season has been a season of regression. I think the football we've played has been worse. I think we've been boring to watch. People blame the injuries and this, that, and the other, but we had the same injuries when we sort of waltzed through the Champions League in the early stages. We got through them games. And then when it got to the knockout stages, we had everybody fit and we still couldn't get to the final. So I don't buy all this injury stuff. You've got a squad of players and, we're a big club. We spent a lot of money on this squad and we should be able to cope. It wasn't like we had all our players injured at the same time. They all seem to get injured at different spells in the season, didn't they? Martin Odegaard was out for a while, then he got fit again. Bukayo Saka was out for a while, he got fit again. And now, obviously, Gabriel's out. He's been out for a few weeks at the end of the season. And they're the 3 main ones, obviously, aren't they? The rest of the injuries haven't really been key players, have they? They're squad players, but we've got a squad. So, Calafiore, for example, people have used him. Tomiyasu never plays. Who cares if he's injured? Do you know what I mean? There's too much made of our injury issues. And when you look at the actual key players in the team that's been injured, it wasn't all at the same time. If we'd lost Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel all at the same time for 3 months, and we were sitting where we are, you could say, well, we coped pretty well with that. But that wasn't the case, was it? They were all out at different times. So it's only one key player out at any given time. So surely we can cope with that. We're Arsenal. We've got a squad. We should be able to cope with 1 key player out at any one time, or maybe 2 at certain periods. But that's it. So I'm not buying that excuse, and it is an excuse for injuries. I'm not saying we haven't had injuries, because we have, but that's not the reason why we've come up short this season. It's not. There's a lot of other reasons for that, but I'm not going to go into all of that now. It's pointless, because nothing's going to change. My worry is that next season is going to be much the same again. Obviously, the transfer window is going to be key. It looks like Martin Zubimendi's coming, which another defensive player. We like signing defensive players, don't we? Which is fantastic, isn't it? Why not sign a few more defensive players? Don't worry about the fact we haven't got a centre forward, and that's cost us pretty much everything this season. Don't worry about that. Just sign some more defensive players. But anyway, if it's the start of a big run of big signings, then fair enough. We need a centre forward. We know that. I'd like to see more competition in the forward positions. I think defensively we're pretty much okay. Yes, if William Saliba and Gabriel are both injured at the same time, that's going to happen, isn't it? But we just have to deal with it. You can't replace every single player, can you? Anyway, Arsenal are giving Liverpool a guard of honour. Look at this. This is all you guys that support Mikel Arteta. This is what it's come to. This is what you've got. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Arsenal players are giving a guard of honour to Liverpool here at Anfield today. This is embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. But it's what you want, isn't it, guys? I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with watching this. And it's not going to fire the players up because they haven't got it in them. It's not going to fire them up at all. So let's not worry about that. Utterly embarrassing. All right, David Elliott, my friend, he says, what are your thoughts on the game then? There's a realistic chance you could lose second place at this rate. I don't think it will happen, but it's a possibility. To be honest with you, I don't care. If we come second, if we come third, if we come fourth, or if we come fifth, the outcome's exactly the same. You get Champions League football next season. I don't care. Not bothered. In fact, I would rather we didn't come second because then, it's almost like, we've come second again with a terrible, terrible points total. That'll be a lot worse than the last two seasons. We've regressed this season in the league and our finishing position should reflect that. So we shouldn't finish second this year. We should be third or fourth or fifth. And it doesn't really matter, does it? Either of those three positions will do because we're still going to get Champions League. I personally think we're going to end up finishing fourth because I think you guys will beat us next week. Depending on what happens today, I suppose. But I think if we lose today, I think you guys will beat us next week. So you'll go above us. You'll finish above us. Man City will probably finish above us and we'll end up fourth. But who cares? We're in the Champions League and that makes no difference to me. If you're not first and you're in the top and you're in the Champions League places, I don't really care what position we're in. It makes no difference. If you're not first, you're nowhere really, aren't you? Let's be honest. For Arsenal, this is 5 years into this project. We should be winning the league. Man City have been terrible this season, and they might finish above us. And win the FA Cup. It's just a joke, honestly. Newcastle have won the Carabao Cup. Tottenham or Man U are going to win a European trophy. Chelsea are probably going to win a European trophy, and yet people are still saying, Arteta's a generational coach. Well, he's not, is he? He's not at all, is he? He's crap. Most of this team aren't good enough. They haven't got the right mentality. Our captain's just the worst captain I've ever seen in the history of this football club. And everybody's happy, except me, it seems. But I don't really care. I expect more from this club. I expect us to... I don't say I expect us to win stuff all the time. No, that's not realistic, is it? But I expect us to at least have the ambitions to try and win stuff and not be satisfied with constant failure. And I don't care how far Mikel Arteta has brought us forward from where we were. I mean, to be fair, he took us down in the first place and has brought us back up again. But, everyone says, we're competing in the Champions League. Well, we got to the semi-final. We got to the quarter-final a year before. That's, competing is getting to the final and winning it, or at least getting to the final. If you're not in the final, you might as well have got knocked out in the group stage. It makes no difference. Why can't people see that? I don't understand it. We've just given Liverpool a guard of honour at Anfield and people still are happy with what's happening. Wow. Anyway, Arsenal in their sort of Lynx Africa kit today, although we've got white shorts and white socks on, which is strange because Liverpool wearing red. And I don't think that black really clashes with red. So I don't know why we've not worn the whole shebang and we've got white shorts and white socks, which actually looks all right, to be fair. I just don't understand why we've had to wear white when they've got red. And they're not wearing black. Anyway, this is the champions, of course, of the Premier League this season. And it's a title that was there for the taking, quite honestly. I don't think, Liverpool have deserved to win the league. Absolutely. They've been the best team. But they've not been, when you look at the great Liverpool sides of the past, for example, nowhere near. When you look at the Man City team that's won the league over the last 4 or 5 years, nowhere near. They're probably the weakest Premier League champions in the last 5, 7, 8 years, maybe. The team that Liverpool had that won the league before in COVID was much better than this Liverpool team. Anyway, that's irrelevant. They've won the league and they deserve it, and fair play to them. Anyway, we're about to get off and underway here at Anfield. It is our sort of kick off in this rather strange combination of kit. We're attacking the Kop end away to our right in this first half, and David Raya is booting the ball straight out for a throw to Liverpool. I'm not really sure what the Arsenal mindset is here. How do we approach this game? What do we want to achieve in this game? Do we want to, show that we should be able to compete with Liverpool next season, or is it like, well, have we got any motivation to perform at all? After going out of the Champions League the other night, I don't know. It's the mindset thing for me today for Arsenal. Liverpool are going to want to put on a show, aren't they? They're the champions, of course they are. They're going to want to show the crowd here at Anfield. Give them a performance of champions. It goes one of two ways, doesn't it? Sometimes when you've won the league, the rest of the season in the games you've got to play, you can just switch off and you're on the beach and you don't care and you lose a few. Liverpool did, of course, lose to Chelsea last week. Other times a team wins the league, a few games to play, and they enjoy it, relax and play great football and win. Arsenal did it, I remember, back in the 90s where we won the league with a couple of games to spare, and we played really well in the last couple of games because the pressure was off. And maybe Liverpool will do that. We'll soon find out today, won't we? But the games are pretty meaningless, so let's be honest. It is pretty meaningless, isn't it? Anyway, also won a free kick. So Bosley there has fouled Leandro Trossard. It's on halfway. So Ben White is going to take it on this near side. Actually, the kick combination doesn't actually look that bad, does it? With the white and the black top. Doesn't actually look that bad. But there you go. Hopefully we will get a new kit next season, won't we? There's no doubt about that. Anyway, Arsenal have got another free kick. Mikel Merino's gone down. It was Conor Bradley, it was, with the foul. Although he claims it wasn't a foul. They just jumped for the ball. He's put his arm across him there and he'd need him in the back as well on the way down. So poor old Mikel Merino's just got a bit of a batter in there, hasn't he? But it didn't seem to be quite as low down on his back as he's kind of holding there. But anyway, Arsenal have won the free kick. I think he might be winded in actual fact, Mikel Merino. And he's getting back to his feet slowly over on that far side. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal anyway. It looks like he is winded more than anything. And he's going to be okay. In fact, there's a green Adidas sign on the shorts, which I quite like. Anyway, he's back on his feet again, Mikel Merino. Still looking a little bit shaky. Andy's with us. How are you doing, Ange? Good to see you. Looks like you enjoyed the game yesterday, which was, it was a game of everything, really, wasn't it? Yesterday, the women's game. Christ, that was exciting, wasn't it? And Arsenal's got the win to finish second in the WSL. So I wonder if we can finish second in the Premier League. You know, it's a free kick to Arsenal over on the far side. Martin Odegaard's going to take it, whipped in towards the penalty spot. Surely everyone's offside. Saka's put it across the goal. Was he offside? Well, he's looked across at the linesman, and I don't think he is, because he knows he perhaps should have scored. The Liverpool defence all ran out there, and I don't think Saka was offside. Well, no, Saka was miles onside. All the rest of the Arsenal team are offside. Actually, he should score there, shouldn't he? He should score there. He's put it right across the goal, miskicked it. And I don't know what Liverpool defence were doing. They all ran out. Saka's actually very clever there with his movement. He hung back and then he moved in when they'd all moved out. And that was good. That was clever movement. But he kicked it into the ground and it's bounced the wrong side of the post. Arsenal almost getting a perfect start, actually. Maybe we are a bit more fired up for this game than I thought we would be. Anyway, Liverpool now back in possession. Luis Diaz inside the centre circle, but Leandro Trossard that takes it off him. Plays the ball out to the far side. Gabriel Martinelli. Rumours that he may well be leaving Arsenal at the end of the season. Plays it into the penalty to Trossard again. Touches it back to Thomas Partey. That's with Jacob Kiwior. Plays up that far side. It's Miles Lewis Skelly. Had a great season, hasn't he? The teenager really established himself in the team. No, I thought that was going to happen, did they? Earlier on in the season when he first broke in. You know, and he's made that position his enemy. Liverpool now looking for a counter-attack. Diaz here is up. Oh, it's a mistake there by William Saliba. William Saliba's been on holiday for a few weeks now, hasn't he? Let's be honest. And he was so slow there. And Luis Diaz just took the ball off him. And now he's won a free kick. It was Mikel Merino with the foul. What on earth is William Saliba doing there? Far too casual. And that's really summed up William Saliba's form over, probably last couple of months or so. Very, very sloppy. And once again there, he was just asleep. And Luis Diaz just nicked the ball off him. Could have been a dangerous moment there, but nothing came of it in the end. And he says, am I the only one in the chat? He seems a bit at the moment. Yeah, I don't know who everyone is today. I think everyone's just given up on the team, really. And you can't blame them, to be honest. Anyway, Leandro Trossard's running down this near side. There's no one in support of him. So in the end, he runs into Szoboszlai. Well, he managed to keep the ball. Szoboszlai felt he was fouled, but the referee said no. It's Anthony Taylor, by the way, the referee. Thomas Partey now over on the far side finds Gabriel Martinelli again. Gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? It's deflected behind. In fact, it was already out. Martinelli going down a blind alley once again. And it's a goal kick to Liverpool. 5.5 minutes played. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. And not much really has happened so far. Although Bukayo Saka did miss a very good chance a couple of minutes ago, didn't he, from that free kick? Anyway, Liverpool just playing it out from the back. Van Dijk finds Andrew Robertson here up his near side. Lots of space to run into for the left back on his 250th game. It's Cody Gakpo now on his near side. Can he get the cross in? He's held up there by Mikel Merino. Instead, he plays it back to Curtis Jones. Now, this is good from Liverpool. Inside the penalty area, cross comes in towards that far post. And it was well defended, actually, there from Miles Lewis-Skelly as Mo Salah was coming in. And that was good defending there from the youngster there. David Raya once again has kicked the ball straight out for a throw. I don't know what he's doing. He's not been in great form lately either, has he? There's too many of our sort of so-called top performers have really dropped off their level. Oh, and Alisson's kick there hit Leandro Trossard, but it's bounced kindly back into the arms of the Liverpool goalkeeper. And he says, enjoyable experience at the Emirates and great meetups after. Yeah, I saw all this stuff from Andreas. I'll get that vlog out later. Just been a bit busy today, but yeah, looks good. It looks good stuff, good fun. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it? Anyway, Liverpool now looking to come forward on this near side. This is a great break, actually. That's a lovely ball looking for Mo Salah over on that far side inside the penalty area. Mo Salah plays it square. Diaz, good save from David Raya. Liverpool nearly getting the goal there. That was the slick football that has won them the title. Anyway, they've won the ball back here with Curtis Jones inside the penalty area. Touches it back to Cody Gakpo. That was a good save there from David Raya from Luis Diaz. It's a good move from Liverpool. Just ripped us to pieces there. And that's a long ball forward there from Virgil van Dijk. Couldn't be kept in play, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Arsenal. But that was a lovely move from Liverpool, wasn't it? Really good play. Intricate passing there. Incisive pass. Lovely ball from Curtis Jones initially to Salah. And he just rolled the ball back to Diaz. He had time to take a touch, and he should have scored, really. He hit the ball quite straight at the goalkeeper, didn't he? But it's a good save by Raya down to his right-hand side. But if he finds a corner there, it's a goal for Liverpool, isn't it? It's a throw to Arsenal on halfway on this near side. Saka it was there, and Gravenberch in challenge there. But that's a good save from David Raya. 12 clean sheets this season. He's played every game. He's not got any competition, has he? Because Nilberto Neto is never going to play, is he? Now, the referee has given a foul throw. Well, sorry, the linesman's given a foul throw from Ben White. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Anyway. Anyway, it's a throw to Liverpool instead. Very strange. You don't often see foul throw, do you? Terry's always said to my friend, good to see it is a throw to Liverpool now on this near side. Andrew Robertson throws it into Cody Gakpo, tried to head it on towards Luis Diaz, and then Gravenberch fouls Mikel Merino. We've played 9 minutes, it's 0-0. And Merino didn't look very happy about that challenge, did he? He's had a couple of challenges on him, hasn't he, so far in this game already? And that was a little bit late there, wasn't it, by Gravenberch? And it is a free kick to Arsenal, which we've taken. David Raya outside the penalty area plays it in short to Leandro Trossard, who's our centre forward, by the way, picking the ball up midway inside Arsenal's half from the goalkeeper. So when everybody's screaming for Arsenal to buy a centre forward, that's what our centre forward is going to be doing next season. Whoever it is, if we buy one, he'll be picking the ball up from the goalkeeper just outside the Arsenal penalty area is what he'll be doing, our centre forward. Anyway, was there a foul there or not? No, it's play. It looked like Virgil van Dijk might have fouled Leandro Trossard. Anyway, Alisson Becker goes long with that kick. Again, looking for Salah. Good header by Jacob Kiwior. And then there's a foul there by Szoboszlai on Thomas Partey. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. There seems to be a lack of intensity about this game, I think, so far. It's got a pre-season friendly feel about it, hasn't it? Really. But anyway, I guess it's understandable in the circumstances, really. So this was billed as one of the potentially the title deciding game, wasn't it, when the fixtures came out? Well, I mean, I didn't believe it would be, but some people did. And it's all a bit of a damp squib now, isn't it? But anyway, Ben White finds Martin Odegaard on this near side for Arsenal. I'm kind of getting used to this kit, actually. It looks quite cool. I don't know why I don't know why we couldn't have worn black shorts and socks, but it actually looks quite good in the white, I think. Anyway, Martin Odegaard tried to thread the ball back to Bukayo Saka, but Liverpool have one possession, and this is what they're so good at, aren't they, in the transition. Now it's Cody Gakpo on this near side, just on the edge of the penalty, and now into the penalty. Cody Gakpo, he couldn't quite get his shot away there, maybe delayed it too long, and then he lost the ball to William Saliba. That was much better from Saliba earlier. A bit sloppy, wasn't he? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again, and Trossard's ball looking for Martinelli, but he's not going to get there because Conor Bradley should be able to deal with that, the Liverpool defender, and he does. Actually, he's done pretty well. He's got the ball back again, Bradley, and he runs into Mikel Merino, and the game's just been a bit like a basketball game, hasn't it? One team loses possession, and then there's a counter-attack, and then it happens again at the other end. Anyway, long ball forward there from Arsenal looking for Bukayo Saka. That's good defending though from Andrew Robertson, but that's not a good clearance, and Arsenal going to pick the ball up on this near side. Leandro Trossard's now playing as a right midfielder. He's meant to be our centre forward. Get yourself in the box, mate. And Terry says the passing in this game is terrible. It is, yeah, from both teams, to be fair. Absolutely is. I say it's got a pre-season feel to it, hasn't it, this game? A friendly feel. You know, it's pre-season weather, actually, isn't it? And it's got that kind of feel to it. Although I'm sure Liverpool fans will be still wanting to win. Anyway, Saka now on this near side. We've not won at Anfield since 2012, September 2012, in fact. Coming up for 13 years. Apparently, we've got a great record against all the top sides, but we haven't won at Anfield for God knows how long. We haven't won at Man City for God knows how long. So maybe our record against the top teams isn't as good as it's spun to be. Anyway, Arsenal in possession over on the far side. Mikel Merino's tackle. That's a good tackle there, actually. And now Mo Salah on the counter attack, and then he's fouled by Jacob Kiwior. And stop that counter attack. Quite often that sort of foul's a yellow card, isn't it? But I don't think it's going to be given as a yellow card in this particular game. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's shirt's ripped. I think he's going to need another one. Don't quite know how that happened, but anyway, his shirt's ripped. And it's Martin Odegaard's 150th Premier League appearance. Wow. Who would have thought that, eh? And he might need another shirt. Anyway, it's a free kick to Liverpool, just inside their own half. And Canate, sorry, not Canate. Alisson's now in possession, finds Curtis Jones. Just on the edge of the penalty, put under pressure by Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey's won the ball back, and everybody left it to each other, and it's still running around in the box. Leandro Trossard with a shot, and it's blocked. What on earth are Arsenal doing now? No communication whatsoever. Thomas Partey did well, actually, to press the ball. And then there was 3 Arsenal players just left it to each other. Someone take responsibility in there. Christ. Anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side. Leandro Trossard's been fouled. What on earth are they thinking of there? It was good pressing, actually, from Thomas Partey on Curtis Jones. Really good pressing. And then no one wanted to take... No, well, look, all 3 of them just left it to each other. That is Sunday League stuff there. Honestly, ridiculous. And when Trossard finally did have a shot, Liverpool got all their defenders back. What on earth are they doing there? Someone just take responsibility and have a shot. Just leaving it to each. This is what I mean. They're just too nice, these players, aren't they? You know, a winning team there, all 3 of them would have been kicking each other to get the shot away. Not, oh, you go first. Yeah, we've got another free kick from a very similar position to where Saka missed that big chance from before. Again, it's going to be Martin Odegaard to take it. Saka's in that very similar position again. But I'm sure Liverpool might be a little bit more aware of him this time, as he kind of sneaked in a little bit unnoticed, didn't he, on the previous occasion. We're probably going to try the same thing again. Anyway, that free kick is just headed out, and then Robertson heads it out the second time. You know, it's with Bukayo Saka on this near side. Ben White's gone around the outside. He chipped it to the far post. It's headed back across by Martinelli, but nobody's there. And Alisson just comfortably picks that ball up, and now Liverpool can try and look for a counter-attack. They do move the ball well, Liverpool, don't they? especially in the final third. Mo Salah now over on that far side. He scored a few goals against Arsenal in this fixture over the years. Plays it into the box to Diaz. He wanted it back, but Diaz has managed to find a little bit of space. But Mikel Merino there with a sliding tackle, which he had to get right inside the box, and he did. And now Trossard over on that far side for Arsenal. And it is William Saliba now in possession. Midway inside the Arsenal half, just touches it back to David Raya. 16 minutes on the clock. And it's not been a great game, although it could be 1-1. Saka should have scored for Arsenal very early on. And then Luis Diaz should have scored for Liverpool. But it was a half-decent save by David Raya. Although the ball straight away. Gravenberch now in possession for Liverpool in midfield. Just touches it back to Andrew Robertson. Now it's with Virgil van Dijk, the Liverpool captain. Now it's with Alisson Becker. It's going to go long, the Liverpool goalkeeper up that far side looking for Mo Salah. He's trying to get around Miles Lewis-Skelly. And he's conceded a foul. Big day for Miles Lewis-Skelly up against Mo Salah, isn't it? Mo Salah's been obviously one of the best players in the Premier League of recent years. Obviously, he's top scorer again. Phil says, let's do the Scouts as well. It doesn't really matter now, does it? Martin Odegaard's finally got a new shirt. They must have got the number printed for him. And he's got a shirt that's not ripped anymore. Anyway, Miles Lewis-Skelly's going to take this free kick over on the far side. I don't know what Mo Salah was doing there. Did he think he'd taken it already? Anyway, it's going to be a free kick. And David Raya is now going to take it instead over on that far side. So this could actually go anywhere because all these kicks have generally got out of play. So who knows where this is going to go. Goes up that far side, headed away by Connor Bradley, and Jacob Kiwior now picks it up, finds Thomas Partey in midfield. Does a little shimmy and plays the ball back to William Saliba. Now it's with Ben White. And Ben White will go back to goalkeeper David Raya. Gets it out to that far side. Jacob Kiwior chips the ball forward. Looked like a foul there by Martinelli. In fact, it is a foul by Martinelli. And it's going to be a free kick. Him and Connor Bradley have had a bit of a battle over there, haven't they, on that far side in this early stages of this first half. And at that time, it's a free kick to Liverpool. The ball now goes back to Alisson. All in green, Liverpool goalkeeper. David Raya's in yellow. Of course, Arsenal wearing yellow at Anfield. Some great memories, of course, from back in the day. It's a long ball forward up this near side. Cody Gakpo's in behind. Cody Gakpo's inside the penalty. William Saliba's across. Gakpo manages to squeeze it across there towards Mo Salah, but Miles Lewis-Skelly's in again with a tackle. And Liverpool didn't really make the most of that, did they? But anyway, they're coming forward again now. Andrew Robertson crosses it in, a header, and they've scored. It's at the near post. It is Cody Gakpo. And you have to say that although Liverpool haven't played particularly well in this game, when they go forward, they are dangerous and they are direct. And that is why they've won the league by quite some distance this season. And that's Cody Gakpo with the finish at the near post. They took that throw in really quickly. Arsenal caught off guard. A little bit of a sleep there we were. Good cross from Andrew Robertson. And Cody Gakpo heads it in at the near post. And that all started from the move before when Gakpo maybe should have scored already. He got himself into a great position. And then Arsenal scrambled the ball clear. And it was from that quick throw there that they took. Arsenal was still maybe not quite ready there. And Andrew Robertson put the cross in. And Cody Gakpo's got the whole freedom of the 6-yard box. Terrible, terrible defending. And a good header by Cody Gakpo. Couldn't really miss her, let's be honest. A decent cross, actually. And where's the Arsenal defence? Oh, nowhere. There's a surprise. And Cody Gakpo has scored. And it is 1-0 to Liverpool, 20 minutes on the clock. And the champions are doing champion things. Anyway, Liverpool coming forward again over on that far side. Mo Salah will sign that new contract, plays the ball over the top. Oh, Liverpool in again, Szoboszlai. It's going to be 2-0. It's Luis Diaz. Liverpool have scored twice in a minute. And Arsenal are going to be in danger here of completely falling apart at Anfield. That was, again, quick play from Liverpool. Arsenal just can't cope with it. and it's Luis Diaz. It was Mo Salah initially started that move, and that was good play again for Liverpool. So Bosley played it across, and all Luis Diaz had to do was slide it into the net. And the Arsenal players with a familiar look on their face, confusion, disappointment, and that's pretty much where we are. And that is Luis Diaz with the goal. And it's far too easy, isn't it, for Liverpool? So Mo Salah did well over on that far side. It was a lovely ball through, actually, to Szoboszlai. He wasn't offside. It was a lovely run, and he played the ball part. I don't know what David Raya is doing, to be fair. I don't know what any of them are doing. That was terrible from David Raya there, and Szoboszlai couldn't miss. Luis Diaz couldn't miss. I mean, David Raya there has just made an absolute idiot of himself, and Luis Diaz has made it 2-0. Now, we have, of course, suffered some really, really bad defeats at Anfield over the years, haven't we? And this could well be another one. I've been at Anfield quite a few times when Liverpool have, beaten us heavily, 5-1s and 4-0s and stuff like that. And this is in danger, isn't it, of going the same way. And obviously demotivated Arsenal now just need to try and stem the tide a little bit, because what we don't want to do here, it's fair enough losing to Liverpool. A lot of teams have lost at Anfield this season, but it's all about not getting absolutely hammered. I mean, the Liverpool fans are enjoying their day in the sunshine here, as they've enjoyed the season, I'm sure. And it is 2-0, and it's not looking good, is it? Let's be honest. And says, and we complain about Manu. Well, actually, that was a good impression of Manu there, wasn't it, from David Raya? A really good impression. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward now and try and get a goal back, but Liverpool win possession back, but not for long. This is good play. It's come to Mikel Merino on the edge of the box. His shot's blocked by Van Dijk, and now comes a Liverpool charge. They're not frightened to get bodies forward, are they? It's Mo Salah over on that far side. His pass set up the previous goal. He's trying to set up another one here. Gets on the edge of the box. The shot comes in. Oh, and it was just past the far post there from Curtis Jones. It was almost 3 goals in about 3 minutes for Liverpool. Every time they come forward, you just think they're going to score, because I don't know what our defence is doing. Very much little here. Oh, David Raya's made a save there, actually. I think he's got across and saved there. I don't know whether it's going to be given as a corner, but he looked like he got his fingertips there. He did. That's a good save, actually. Wow. That is a really good save from David Raya. And it's been given as a goal kick, I think. Is it? Oh, no, it is a corner. It is a corner. It definitely was a corner, because that was a good save. He didn't cover himself in too much glory with a second goal there, did he, David Raya? But he certainly made a good save there at full stretch to tip that round the post. Anyway, it's a corner to Liverpool. The first corner of the game, in actual fact. And it's going to be Dominic Szoboszlai to take it on this near side in front of the Arsenal fans. It comes in, but that's comfortable for David Raya that time. And it could easily have been 3-0 there. And then all our worst nightmares would have been coming true, because this game already looks like it slips away from us. And I think it's going to slip away from us a lot more. Could be a long old sort of 70 minutes, 65 minutes out left. Liverpool again have won the ball now. There's some space here for Curtis Jones again on the edge of the penalty area. Finds Szoboszlai. He's got an overlap here from Luis Diaz. He chips it in. Oh, he's gone onto the roof of the net. Was he trying for goal there, or was that a cross? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's ended up on the roof of the net there from Luis Diaz, who did score the second goal. But again, Arsenal lost the ball. Didn't show any determination to try and win it back. And Szoboszlai found Diaz. And I think it was trying to... I don't know. Look at that. You made me think, did he try and chip it over Raya? I'm not sure if he did there. Anyway, he went onto the roof of the net in any case, when maybe a cross would have perhaps been the better option. Anyway, Cody Gakpo, who scored the first goal, has just conceded a foul on Ben White. And he takes a free kick himself, gives it back to William Saliba. 25 minutes on the clock. And it is Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. Gakpo and Diaz with the goals, both coming one after the other in quick succession midway through this first half. And Arsenal now look as though we're heading for another defeat, of course, after losing to Bournemouth last week. It would only be a fifth league defeat of the season, wouldn't it? No, fourth league defeat of the season. No, fifth league defeat of the season. We've lost twice to Bournemouth. We've lost to Newcastle. We lost to West Ham. Yeah, this would be our fifth league defeat, wouldn't it? Which actually doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it's obviously too many to win a league title, as we know. It's the draws that's really killed us, hasn't it? You know, Cody Gakpo there has gone on a jinking run, and he was already falling to the ground there when Thomas Partey fouled him. He showed good balance, though, Cody Gakpo. I think Cody Gakpo is a good player, I must admit. And I remember when he played for, was it PSV Eindhoven, when we played him in the Champions League a couple of years ago before he joined Liverpool. And there was talk of him maybe coming to Arsenal, and a lot of Arsenal fans were like, no, he's not good enough. Well, I actually think he's a good player, and he's got a Premier League winners' medal now tucked away. I think he's a good player. Anyway, so free kick to Liverpool now. It's just on this near side of the left. Andrew Robertson's going to take it. He did get an assist, of course, for the second goal. And he'll be looking to cause some problems here. Van Dijk is in there as well. We know how dangerous Van Dijk is from set-piece situations. Very, very strong in the air, isn't it? It's chipped in to that far post, looking for Canate. In actual fact, and Arsenal just about managed to deal with it. Although Trossard's got himself in a little bit of a corner, but he does well to get out of it, actually. Martinelli now, a little bit of space on the counter-attack. And Van Dijk's chasing hard to get back at him. And then he leaves it for Conor Bradley. And in the end, Martinelli just goes back anyway to Mikel Merino. Now he finds Miles Lewis Skelly. And now it's Thomas Partey. Thought about chipping the ball forward. It says it comes up this near side. Bukayo Saka missed that early chance. That's looking quite important now in the context of this game. Maybe not too much else. But anyway, Saka now. Can he go on the outside and get across it? No, he can't, because he just has the ball taken off him by Cody Gakpo. And that's what I mean about Cody Gakpo. You know, he's a good player. He's a very good player, and he does his defensive duty as well. He'd actually be a player that would work well for a Mikel Arteta team, wouldn't he? Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward there, but good defending in actual fact there from Gravenberch, and Gravenberch again wins the ball. And he's a good player as well, isn't he? Gravenberch. I mean, they're all good players, Liverpool. Anyway, now Trossard on this near side pulls across into the penalty area. Arsenal appealing for a handball. Obviously, VAR will check it against Canate. He's got a look of a guilty man, hasn't he? Ibrahima Canate there. But it is a throw. In fact, we're gonna, obviously the VAR's checked it, and he's just given a throw, which is fair enough. You don't want to see penalties for that, do you? Really? Terry says, good job, we've got the best defence in Europe. Well, it is, yeah, it definitely is. Ryan says, Arsenal might not even finish in their customary second place. Well, no, maybe not. And I don't think we really deserve to either this season, because, you know, we've been nowhere near as good as the last two seasons when we have finished second. So we need to finish lower. So we know there's work to do. Anyway, Saka there does quite well, but the final shot went high over the crossbar, when maybe a cross might have been the better bet. Terry says he's certainly better than 29 and Marino. Yeah, Cody Gakpo, he absolutely is. Yeah, he absolutely is. Well, having said that, you see, I sometimes wonder what about the coaching of these players. You know, Martinelli's gone backwards. There's no doubt. Is that a coaching issue, or is it just him? I don't know. And you look at some players that sign for other clubs and seem to flourish, and many of our players don't. Anyway, now we're in trouble again here. Over on that far side, is it going to be 3-0? It should have been 3-0 again. Diaz should have scored. But in the end, I think was he offside? Anyway, it was good play by Canate, actually, charging down that far side like a right back, even though he's obviously a centre back. But he absolutely just charged forward, unchallenged, you have to say. Nobody wanted to tackle him. And then he's played a lovely ball into space there. And again, that was onside. William Saliba's very deep. He's played Liverpool onside 2 or 3 times, actually. And then Luis Diaz made a run to the near post, but Saliba sort of recovered there and made a good tackle. And it could easily have been 3-0. Terry says, blimey, Mr. City. Well, to be honest with you, they've missed 2 or 3, haven't they? So it could be a lot worse than it is after half an hour. It is 2-0, which is bad enough. Anyway, looking at that First goal again. It was just a quick throw, wasn't it? And what are Arsenal doing? Nothing. Just everyone was just watching. And that is terrible, isn't it? That is terrible, terrible defending. And the goal was so quick that even Arne Slot didn't see it, did he? Because he was looking the other way. Of course, Arne Slot, his first season, I think he spent any money, has he? And he's managed to win the league. I mean, okay, yeah, Liverpool always were a good team. But even so, he's done what Jurgen Klopp couldn't do in the last few seasons. But anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward. Marino's cross. Van Dijk's there with a header away. And Cody Gakpo's on this near side. He puts work in, doesn't he, Cody Gakpo? Really does work hard. You'd like to be a left back, wouldn't you? When you've got Cody Gakpo in front of you, who's going to just work back and help you out. I mean, wow, Andy Robertson's got it easy, hasn't he? Anyway, Arsenal are in possession, but we're not really looking too threatening at the minute. William Saliba touches it back to Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's in a central midfield position, as we like our left backs to be. For some unknown reason, I think Mikel Arteta, he doesn't like centre forwards. He wants them to play as a defensive midfield player. He doesn't like left backs because he wants them to play in midfield. I don't really know what positions he does like. Anyway, Saka on his right hand side. He likes Saka there, doesn't he? Now Trossard, our centre forward, playing right wing. Saka takes over and goes towards the edge of the penalty area. No one's in the box, really, are they? Look, no one's in the box. There's our centre forward here, Trossard, playing on the right hand side. Martin Odegaard plays it square to Thomas Partey. And Trossard's now got the ball in a central position finally. And he twists and turns, tries to find a shot, finds Martin Odegaard. He touches it back to Thomas Partey. It's all very tight in there. Trossard then tries to thread the ball through. It's come out to the far side to Mikel Merino. Now it's Thomas Partey again. It's into Trossard inside the box, but he was out-muscled there by a combination of Conor Bradley and Ibrahima Konate. And then there's a free kick to Liverpool over on that far side. And Mikel Merino is going to get the first yellow card of the game. I think Anthony Taylor's just had enough of his fouls and his nonsense, to be quite honest with you. And I sometimes look at the way that we play, and I sometimes think to myself, we could buy a centre forward, but it's not actually going to make any difference. Because we're not going to play a different style, because Mikel Arteta won't change the way he plays. So he'll have a centre forward that won't be much in the penalty area anyway. So why waste 150 million on a top level centre forward when maybe we're better off spending that 150 million on another 5 defensive players so we can just bore the pants off everyone and draw 0-0 every week? That's a better option, because that's what Mikel Arteta wants, doesn't he? Terry says, still the good news is we've still got Arteta next season and more crap football. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited for it already. And he says, and that sort of midfielder with dodgy eyes? Who's got dodgy eyes? And that midfielder with dodgy eyes? Who's got dodgy eyes? I don't know which one you mean. Anyway, Mo Salah on that far side. Threads the ball through again, looking for Diaz. He makes some good movement, doesn't he, Luis Diaz? Playing in the centre forward position for Liverpool. Lewis Kelly's done well against Mo Salah again. And then he's won the foul and Mo Salah wasn't very happy. Lewis Kelly's done well, actually. Ben White now in possession for Arsenal. Leandro Trossard inside the Arsenal half. Leandro Trossard is playing as our centre forward. This is what I mean. This is what Mikel Arteta will have our centre forward doing if we buy one. Anyway, Trent Alexander-Arnold is warming up. I wonder what sort of reception he's getting from Liverpool fans following his decision to leave at the end of the season. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward over on that far side. Lewis Skelly touches it into Thomas Partey. Thought about a shot. Maybe should have had a shot. Instead, cut back inside and lost the ball. And now David Raya is going to pick it up. Ansby says, Spanish fella. Liverpool got a Spanish player in midfield. Don't think they have, have they? Oh, you mean our one? Merino. Anyway, Trossard over on that far side. See, put the ball across the penalty area. No one's there. Well, Saka was there, but he wasn't in a centre forward position because that's not where he was playing. And a ball across into the box. came to nothing. Anyway, Terry says ice cream's got dodgy minces. Yeah, he has. Yeah, it must be him. So, Trossard has as well, hasn't he? We must like them sort of players, actually. You know, Martin Odegaard on the edge of the penalty, touches it back to Thomas Partey. Finds Leandro Trossard playing on the right wing. There's only one player in the box. Gabriel Martinelli was the only player in the box there. The only player in the box. And this is not just today. This is the story of it. You know, people saying we need a centre forward. I'm not sure what a centre forward is going to do. The way that we play, honestly, I'm not sure what a centre forward is going to do, other than cost a lot of money. Every time we've had a decent centre forward, they haven't got on because of the role they're expected to play. And the fact that Mikel Arteta has only bought one, which is Gabriel Jesus, who is not really a proper centre forward anyway. So, you know, people might look at Liverpool and say, well, Liverpool don't really play with a proper centre forward because Luis Diaz is in that position, but he's not an out-and-out number 9, is he? You know, Mo Salah's their top scorer and he plays out on the right-hand side, cutting on his left foot in a Saka-type role. And they've won the league and they've won other trophies like that. But when they attack, they get bodies in the box. That's the difference, isn't it? You know, Luis Diaz will get in on the end of stuff. Obviously, we know Mo Salah's goal record is phenomenal. And yeah, you know, that's what they do. So Man City won the league, 2 or 3 times without a so-called centre forward. But again, when they attacked, they got bodies in the box. When we attack, we don't get bodies in the box. And that's the problem. The problem isn't necessarily not having a centre forward. The problem is not getting enough bodies in the box when we attack. Anyway, Luis Diaz is getting his nose sorted out because he's got blood coming from it there following that clash just a minute ago. And they're just showing the 2 goals again, which are just shocking. Oh, you mean Martin Zubimendi, you mean? Yeah, I'm not really sure what on earth we're doing buying him, actually, personally. But I understand why, because he's the sort of player that Mikel Arteta wants. One, because he's from Sociedad, and obviously Mikel Arteta is from there himself, isn't he? So he just loves them sort of players. And it's not worth us buying attackers anyway, because we just won't use them. So it's just pointless. Let's just pack out the midfield with the same boring type of players that just don't excite you. And yeah. There's not much to be excited about, is there? I remember, who was it? Was it Josh Kroenke, didn't he say a couple of years ago? Be excited. I want to be excited, mate. I do. I want to be excited, but nothing that's happening at the club over the last few years has made me excited at all. It just isn't. It's just not exciting, is it? I'm afraid. And now this little spell, if you like, that we've had of. I mean, I'm not going to call it success because it isn't success. It's just improvement. And this spell of improvement over the last few years is over. And we need a complete rethink now. We need a rethink in the way that we play. Some of these players need to go because they're not going to be able to get us over the line. That's obvious. I personally think the manager needs to go, but that won't be happening. And we're just going to plod along now, aren't we? We're just going to plod along. We'll be okay. You know, we'll finish in the top 4 or 5 probably most seasons. And you know, and it's nothing to be excited about, is it? You know, it's very similar, isn't it, to the latter years of Arsene Wenger, if we're totally honest. Very similar to that. Only at least then we did play some exciting football, and we did get to cup finals, and we won a few FA Cups as well, which I'm not saying is the answer, but it's something, isn't it? You know, we should be looking at winning trophies. I mean, there's been a big debate, hasn't there, this week about Manchester United. Have they had a better season than us if they win the Europa League, despite their problems in the league? And I said, of course they have. Of course they've had a better. If Tottenham win the Europa League, they've had a better season than us. Of course they have. Of course they have. Whoever wins the Europa League gets in the Champions League. So the result is the same as what our result's going to be, only they've got a trophy to show for it and we haven't. So of course I'd swap seasons with them, 100%, because they'll be next season, they'll be in the Champions League like we are. And what you got to remember is as well, I mean, Manchester United have got a new manager that's been in, 6 months. He's got a lot of work to do, but they're more likely to improve because they've got a new manager who's a good manager. So I would say they're more likely to be on the rise. If they do win the Europa League and get in the Champions League, that could be a big thing for them. And of course, Spurs, Big Ange, bless him, always wins a trophy in his second season, apparently. And maybe he'll do it again. Anyway, Arsenal with a chance. Well, I say a chance. It felt like Martin Odegaard. So it wasn't a chance. It was blocked. Leandro Trossard now on the edge of the penalty area trying to wriggle through a load of red shirts. He wasn't able to. And now Cody Gakpo breaks forward for Liverpool again, finds Luis Diaz, and he's going to ping the ball out to that far side into space for Mo Salah. Mo Salah running into the penalty area, plays the ball into, was that near post? And it was Curtis Jones throwing himself at that. Couldn't quite get enough on it, and Arsenal clear it away again. Terry says, I'll be excited when Berta sacks Arteta. Well, so will I, my friend, but that's not happening. It is just not happening. Anyway, Virgil van Dijk touches the ball off to Andy Robertson on this near side. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. In the last 3.5 minutes of the first half, it's been quite poor, let's be honest. It has been quite poor. And Liverpool now trying to come forward over on that far side. Mo Salah having a run at Miles Lewis-Skelly, and then he's held off by Miles Lewis-Skelly. And it's going to be a yellow card for Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's had a decent first half, but now he's got to be careful because he has got a tendency to get himself sent off, hasn't he, Miles Lewis-Skelly? And in the end there, he doesn't mind a physical challenge, does he, Miles? He's a strong lad. But sometimes he can be a little bit over physical and he just needs to watch himself now. Obviously, when you're on a yellow card and you're up against Mo Salah, who's going to run at you all day, you've got to be careful, haven't you? Liverpool got a free kick here as well on this near side, on the far side, just outside the penalty area. It's not the angle to be shooting from, but they've got a threat in the air, haven't they? Van Dijk's in there, Konate's in there. Looks like it might be Dominic Szoboszlai who's going to take this free kick for Liverpool. Maybe Mo Salah might take it. And actually, he could have a shot from there. Maybe Mo Salah with his left foot. It is Mo Salah, chips it. Oh, that's terrible, actually. It's just gone straight out for a goal kick. Not quite sure if they had much of a plan there between them two there. The EMD says, got to do better than this versus Newcastle. Absolutely, we have, yeah. Of course, that game's next Sunday, isn't it? Arsenal versus Newcastle, which, if this game stays like this, if Newcastle were to beat us again for the 4th time this season, they would be above us going into the final games of the season, in the final game of the season. So, yeah, that is what could happen. Imagine losing 4 times in the same season to the same opponent without even scoring. They haven't even scored against them in the previous 3. Eddie Howe certainly seems to know how to get a result against Arsenal, doesn't he? Anyway, Liverpool have got a free kick now. Konate was fouled. We're into the last minute of the first half. It was Mikel Merino, actually. Hasn't he been booked as well? He needs to be careful as well, doesn't he? Maybe Arsenal showing a little bit of frustration here with some of these challenges. Virgil van Dijk's going to take this free kick in the last minute of this first half. Curtis Jones now up this near side. Just touches it short. Gets it back again. And Luis Diaz, you see, he's very deep as well now. Liverpool's technically is their centre forward, but when they do attack, they do commit bodies in the box, and that's the difference, isn't it? People will say, well, other teams don't play the out-and-out centre forward either. No, but at least they commit bodies forward. The midfield players will make a run into the box. And obviously, they've got Mo Salah here over on that far side, inside the penalty, touches it infield. We're going to get a third goal. It's Connor Bradley. In fact, the linesman's got his flag up for an offside. There's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. I'm not sure who was offside there, actually. Maybe it was Mo Salah in the build-up to that. But anyway, there's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. We do know that. And we've just moved into that now. And you have to say it's been poor from Arsenal, this. Really poor. Anyway, Thomas Partey does a few little pullbacks. Gets the ball moving out to that far side. Gabriel Martinelli Going to have a run at Conor Bradley again. Tries to play it through to Mikel Merino, but that's a terrible, terrible ball. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. And you have to give Liverpool credit here because, you know, they've won the league. It's all over for them. They've got nothing else to play for. And they still put in a performance like this. But Mikel Arteta's looking a little bit... well, I don't know, really. He's looking a little bit pensive, isn't he, there on the sideline? But I don't know what he's worried about. We're the best team in Europe, according to him. So we don't need to worry, do we? Grat says, well, this is quite a disappointment. Sure, the first half was entertaining, but the result, AFC at least. Well, I think I don't think it has been entertaining. I think it's been pretty flat. It's been almost like a pre-season game. But yeah, we are coming down towards half-time. And Arsenal are 2-0 down at Anfield. Not for the first time, you have to say. Anyway, here we are. Chips the ball over the top to Martinelli's got him behind briefly. He's going to go to the byline, tries to pull it across. Van Dijk's there. And, you know, there's been a lot of comparisons over the last couple of seasons, hasn't there, between Van Dijk and William Saliba. And I think it's clear, isn't it? Van Dijk is the best. There's no doubt. Anyway, Luis Diaz now on a counter-attack finds Mo Salah over on that far side. He's got such a funny running style, Mo Salah, isn't he? You know, Thomas Partey comes across there to try and block the cross. Anyway, Salah's got the ball again, goes around the outside, and William Saliba defends it, and it has gone out for a corner to Liverpool. And I think it's about consistency. It's about the big games, the big moments, and Van Dijk is clear, isn't he? Anyway, Liverpool got a corner at the end of this first half. Doncat says there, I pray they sign next season. The whole team has failed the fans this year. No, I agree. Anyway, there's a corner to Liverpool at the final seconds of this first half. It comes in, header from Konate, but it goes over the crossbar. Bounces behind that goal. And he said Sunday dinner nearly ready and can't watch anymore. I don't blame you. Sunday dinner sounds much more appealing than this. Anyway, it's half time. Anfield, here it is at Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. 2 quick goals midway through that half. Cody Gakpo headed in. Andy Robertson's cross to make it 1-0, and then almost straight away Mo Salah found Szoboszlai. He played the ball across the goal, and Luis Diaz was able to slide it into the empty net to make it 2-0. Liverpool have had some other chances as well. Ray made a good save. Didn't he tip one round the post from Curtis Jones? And they've missed one or two others. Arsenal, apart from a very early chance when Bukayo Saka put wide when he should have scored, we've created next to nothing. Next to nothing. It's been so poor. But anyway, there you go. Terry says, sorry, Rich, I have to stick up for Grat. Remember, he's Swedish. He's used to watching crap and liking it. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true, I suppose. But yeah, it's been poor. This first half has been poor. Terry says, Ahmed Arteta. Well, yeah, we've been saying Ahmed Arteta for too long. It's not happening, though, is it? It isn't happening. He's not going anywhere. So we'll just have to accept him for a bit longer, won't we? Anyway, right, I need a drink, so I am going to go and get a drink. So stay with us for the second half because it might be better, but it probably won't be. But anyway, we can live in hope, can't we? So stay with us, don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the second half very, very shortly. But just before we go, we just need to get Mikel Arteta's thoughts on that first half.
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and difficult to argue. It is. You're absolutely right, Mikel. It is a disgrace and it is embarrassing. Anyway, right, we will see you for the second half. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back very shortly. So welcome back for the second half. Yeah. And we've had a few comments in. Terry says, Ange, don't you dare use Sunday dinner as an excuse to not sit through this crap. You stay and suffer with the rest of us. Well, exactly, yeah. I mean, I think we should all suffer together, shouldn't we? But there you go. I haven't had a chocolate, actually. I just had my lunch before the game, but I haven't got my Arsenal mug, of course. The fantastic Arsenal mug. Look at that. With all the kits on from all those great years when we were a serious football club, most of these. Now we're just a joke, aren't we? Anyway. We are going to get ready for the second half. It is only 2-0. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, haven't they? Maybe we'll stage the comeback of all comebacks, eh? Who knows? Who actually knows? I'm sure we'll find out at some point. Let's see, won't we? That's anyway. Anyway, it looks like Trent Alexander-Arnold might be coming on for Liverpool. Be interesting to see what reception he gets. Liverpool are a funny breed. The Liverpool supporters are a funny breed, aren't they? Anyway. Let's see what happens, shall we? Because who knows? And of course, there was some other games today, wasn't it, in the Premier League? So we have a look and see what the scores are. The teams are back out for the second half. So the scores from the Premier League were Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0, Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes. Man United 0, West Ham 2, Souček and Bowen. No surprise there, a European final to come. Are they really bothered about that game? Absolutely not. Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester 2, a local derby. A bit of a surprise there. It was Connor Cody and Bueneta for Leicester, Morgan Gibbs-White and Chris Wood for Forest. It was Tottenham 2, Tottenham 0, Palace 2. 2 goals for Ebira Eze, either side of half-time. Again, a European final. Who's bothered? They're not, are they? And, of course, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0, as we know, and we're not bothered either. Terry's just donated £5 to the channel for me keeping off the chocolate. Well, I'm in training, aren't I? I can't get rid of chocolate, can I, when I'm in training? But I'll put that £5 to good use and buy some fruit instead. Anyway, Liverpool are attacking the Kop end in the second half, which usually means they score a goal or two, don't they? And as we're already 2-0 down, that's not good news, is it? If anyone else wants to donate some money to the channel, actually, then please feel free to do so. because it's a tough old life being a YouTuber. Anyway, Miles Lewis-Skelly's breaking forward for Arsenal. He's got Trossard on this near side, and Trossard's got to the byline. Is this going to be Arsenal putting a goal back? He pulls it back. Mikel Merino's shot was blocked by Van Dijk. And like the first half, in the first couple of minutes, we get an opportunity to score that maybe we should have taken. And these are the big moments, aren't they, that we've spoken about, or, well, Mikel Arteta's spoken about. He seems to think that we're very, very close to being the best team in the world ever. And it's just these little moments. And unfortunately, when those little moments constantly don't go in your favour, that's down to you not being quite good enough. So that's the difference between the top teams and the rest. The top teams take them big moments. Oh, we have just pulled a goal back. It's Martinelli with a header. Just as we said that, big moments, and here we go. Martinelli with a big moment there has pulled a goal back. Cross came in. I think it was Trossard actually from the near side. Martinelli in the number 9 position. Heads it in. Who would have thought? And maybe the comeback's on. Maybe the comeback is on. It was Trossard's cross. Trossard did well a moment ago as well. And not quite sure what Liverpool defenders were doing. But Martinelli doesn't care. He's got on the end of it. He's headed it in front of the Arsenal fans. And although we are still losing this game, at least it's given us hope. That's a good header, actually. And it's direct that into the bottom corner. That's a good header from Martinelli. Not maybe score enough headers, does he, Gabriel Martinelli? But he's got one there. And suddenly it's made it more interesting, hasn't it? It has made it more interesting, you have to say. Because this game was looking as though it was just going to run away from us and peter out into nothing. But suddenly now we've got the bit between our teeth. That's not a great ball there, is it? Terry says, no need to buy a centre forward now. Well, no, exactly. Put Martinelli there. You know, Trossard was playing on the left wing, Martinelli in the centre forward position, and the two combined, and it's a goal. Maybe that's what we need to do in future, eh? Or maybe just get the players that are on the pitch into those positions more often. And if they're in those positions, then who knows? They might score a goal like we just did. Who knows? Because that tends to be what happens. Anyway, we have got a goal back. And it is now 2-1. And who knows? Are we going to see one of the biggest comebacks that Anfield's ever seen? And Arsenal come away and win this game. That would be something special, wouldn't it? Even though it doesn't mean anything. Anyway, the ball's now played to William Saliba. And Arsenal now with something to fight for in this game. And Trossard's playing a lot deeper now, and he's having a lot of impact. He's coming forward again for Arsenal over on that far side. Ben White's over there as well. Whips a cross in. Martinelli trying to get on the end of that one again, but it was easily headed out by Conor Bradley, who's got the ball again. And goes back to goalkeeper Alisson, who goes long. But Kiwior should deal with that, and he does. Heads it down to Lewis-Skelly. And then Thomas Partey gives it back to Kiwior. So when Liverpool have been 2 goals, when Arsenal have been trailing by 2 goals at half-time, in our last 31 league games since 2008, when that's happened, we've never won any of them. We've drawn 2 and lost all the rest. Last 31 league games where we've been 2-0 down at half-time. Can anyone remember the last time we were 2-0 down at half-time and won a game? Because I can, and I'll tell you when it was. I'll give you 5 minutes to see if you can come up with the answer, anybody. I know what the answer is, but I'll see if you guys know. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward again. It's Bukayo Saka over on that far side. Tried to whip a ball in, but it was blocked. And now Liverpool looking dangerous on the counter-attack. And it looked like there was a foul there on Luis Diaz. But the referee says no, and we play on. It's Bukayo Saka again over on that far side. Plays it forward to Ben White as he kept it in. I think he did just about keep it in, but Liverpool dealt with it anyway. Grat says Everton 1998. Well, it wasn't that long ago. I don't think we won from 2-0 down against Everton, did we? I think did we not draw that game at all? Might be wrong. No, I'm sure we only drew Everton when we were 2-0 down. Anyway, we're coming forward again over on that far side with Bukayo Saka. He's done well, actually, Bukayo Saka, but he's gone down a bit of a blind alley. Oh, he's done really well now. Saka, can he get a cross in? He's still inside the penalty area, finds Leandro Trossard. Trossard fires a shot on the turn over the top of the crossbar. And this has been a much better start to the second half from Arsenal. It's almost like Mikel Arteta said to him, you know what? Let's not mess around. Let's actually try. Terry says, West Ham. Oh, no, it wasn't West Ham. I don't know what West Ham game you're referring to, actually. I can't remember being 2-0 down and winning against West Ham. But anyway, we might have done at some point. That certainly wasn't the last time, though. But anyway, Trossard's shot there ended up in the Arsenal fans behind that goal. And it has been a much better start to the second half from Arsenal. And at least this time we do get a goal, because we did start the first half quite brightly and didn't score. And then it petered away very quickly, didn't it? And Arsenal are coming forward again over on that far side. This is a good start. Saka now again. He's seen a lot more of the ball, hasn't he, in his early part of the second half. They didn't do that the whole of the first half. Martin Odegaard inside the penalty area, tried that intricate ball, easily cleared away. And now this is the danger. Mo Salah on this near side for Liverpool on the counter-attack. He's going to have to do it all on his own. He's got some support now. He's going to wait. Oh, and he got the ball wrong, looking for the run of Diaz. It's gone through to David Raya. Grat says, yeah, so I have to leave you for the benefit of the game. See, well, there's no benefit to the game, though, is there? Let's be honest. There's no benefit of the game. It's just a game that has to be played, and Saka was offside. In fact, the referee allows the play to go on because Liverpool had the ball. It'd be quite controversial if they score a shot from distance over the top of the crossbar, though. And that was an interesting decision because the linesman flagged for offside. And that was that. Terry says Hull in the FA. Well, yeah, Hull in the FA Cup. I mean, that was in the Premier League was what the stat was referring to. Yes, obviously Hull in the FA Cup was. I know we was 2-1 down at half time in that game anyway, not 2-0 down at half time, but that was in the FA Cup anyway. But yeah, it was 2-1 at half time. It's 2-1 now, so who knows? Maybe we can do a whole comeback in this game. But actually, in the last time we were 2-0 down at half time in the Premier League game and won was actually at Bolton Wanderers away in 2008 when we were down to 10 men as well. I think Abu Diaby got sent off. Anyway, a cross comes in. Oh, and David Raya saved that one. He was heading for Mo Salah. And yeah, Abu Diaby had been sent off in the first half. We were 2-0 down and somehow we came back and won. It was an own goal in the very last minute. That was a great game, actually. And that was when Arsenal were had a little bit of character about us. But since then, 31 times we've been 2-0 down at half-time in the Premier League. And the best we've managed is 3 draws. That's a terrible record, isn't it? Anyway, we're coming forward again now. Maybe we are going to change that now. It's a shot. It's a good save at the near post. And that was Ben White there over on that far side. Jinking little run there. Did well to get his shot away there, Ben White. Drop of the shoulder. In fact, it may be more of a cross looking for Martinelli. But Alisson's got down anyway. In fact, he miskicked it. I think it was meant to be a cross. He's miskicked it. And in the end, Alisson's made the save. Anyway, it's Virgil van Dijk now for Liverpool. At least Arsenal have shown a bit of character in the second half so far. Although you do feel as though if Liverpool get another goal on the counter-attack, that it might be all over. Anyway, Saka now over on that far side. Maybe overdoes it a little bit there. Curtis Jones brings the ball forward for Liverpool. Touches it square to Gravenberch. Inside the centre circle, exchanges passes with Szoboszlai and gets it back again. That's with Andrew Robertson. That's with Szoboszlai again. Canate. This is nice from Liverpool. Salah touches it into the path there of Gravenberch. And now Liverpool got a little bit of space over on that far side. That's a good ball. Cody Gakpo now is going to run at Ben White inside the penalty area. Cody Gakpo cuts back in field. Ben White gets a block in and Gakpo manages to keep the ball. And that's with Curtis Jones. He's going to probably give it back to Cody Gakpo again, and he does. Now it's square to Szoboszlai. He's going to try a shot from distance. Oh, he got a lot of power behind that. It was straight at David Raya, who managed to push it away and then grab it at the second attempt. And although it was straight, he did hit that well, didn't he, Szoboszlai, the Hungarian? Terry says, blimey, he got hold of that. He did. He certainly hit that hard, didn't he? And had it been either side of David Raya, that would have probably been a goal, but it was straight down the throat of the Arsenal goalkeeper. And he was able to make the save. But he certainly got some power behind that shot, didn't he? Szoboszlai absolutely rocketed it. And it almost created a third goal for Liverpool. But now Arsenal back in possession. See if we can find this equaliser. Thomas Partey plays it in to Miles Lewis-Skelly, Mikel Merino. Oh, there's a little bit of space there for Martinelli, actually. He got in behind, but he wasn't able to get on the end of that ball. It wasn't a great ball, actually. And now the ball's back with goalkeeper Alisson for Liverpool. Now Van Dijk touches it to Andy Robertson. There goes square here to Konate on this near side. Now it's Szoboszlai. Back to Konate again for the champions. And Liverpool knocking the ball around well here. Oh, and Thomas Partey almost got in there, but rolled through to Alisson. And that's a good throw out to the far side. So Andrew Robertson plays it forward to Curtis Jones. And Cody Gakpo made a run there. The ball tried to go inside Ben White, but it wasn't very accurate. Ben White tidied that up quite easily. Now Arsenal back in possession again with a goal scorer. Martinelli touches it back to Jacob Kiwior. Next with Mikel Merino. Just inside the centre circle fires William Saliba. Chips the ball out to that far side to Ben White. Touches it infield to Martin Odegaard. Back to William Saliba, and Arsenal just keeping possession here. Now it's pinged up this near side to Trossard, who's moved over to this left-hand side. And that's been a good move because he's done well in the second half, hasn't he? Trossard on this left-hand side. Wasn't really working with him as a centre forward, was it? Martinelli's moved into that position and has got a goal. So maybe there's your answer. Save 150 million. Ben White now over on that far side. Tries to go around the outside there of Andrew Robertson. Managed to keep the ball. Can he get across it? No, he can't because Robertson defends that well. And Liverpool can now bring the ball clear with Cody Gakpo again. But Arsenal pick it up with Martinelli. Arsenal showing a little bit more urgency in this second half. And we're dominating the play here. But it is still 2-1 to Liverpool. Ground we've not won since, not in the league, since 2012. That cross comes in from the far side. It's going to come all the way across here to Trossard on the near side. Arsenal going to fashion an equaliser. Miles Lewis-Skelly turns the ball back to Jacob Kiwior. He plays it square to William Saliba inside the centre circle. Now it's with Ben White over on that far side. Martin Odegaard plays it in to Mikel Merino. Getting inside the centre circle. Turns away from Luis Diaz. Looking for some forward movement and there isn't any. So in the end he has to go back to Jacob Kiwior. Now he's ready to find Trossard on this near side. Lewis-Skelly has gone on and over that. Ball comes back into Martinelli. Now it's back to Trossard again. Lewis-Skelly's outside him. There is Lewis-Skelly. He tried to cut inside Conor Bradley and he's won the free kick. And it's a yellow card for Conor Bradley. Terry says, didn't he play centre forward under Emery? He did, yeah, briefly. He had a few games there, didn't he? Well, in his first season, he got 10 goals, didn't he, Martinelli? In, 15 appearances or something, playing as a centre forward. And then it never really happened again, did it? He's played the odd spell, the odd moments in games there, hasn't he? I remember him playing against Chelsea away once, didn't he? As a centre forward, he scored. And he also got a free kick here on this near side, right in front of the Arsenal fans. We've had some big moments in front of this goal at the Anfield Road end, haven't we, over the years? Some really big goals here for Arsenal. Are we going to get one here? Well, not that it's going to be a big goal, but it will be an equaliser in this particular game. And there's still half an hour to play, so could be an important goal, couldn't it? Anyway, it's going to be Trossard, I think, with this free kick. It's drilled in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and the shot comes in from Martinelli again, but Good save from Alisson through the crowd. And it was drilled in, that free kick, and I mean, he didn't get the power behind it, Martinelli, did he? Or it could have been the equaliser. But in the end, it just rolled through to Alisson. I remember that goal against Chelsea. Yeah, it was a good goal, wasn't it? It was a great goal, actually, on the counter-attack. And that was actually, I'm sure that was in the very early days of Mikel Arteta, actually. I'm sure that was. The very early days. Anyway, that's a long ball over the top, looking for the run again of Cody Gakpo, but that's headed by William Saliba back into the arms of David Raya. And now Miles Lewis-Skelly gets the ball off the goalkeeper. Very central, touches it off to Martin Ødegaard. Plays up that far side to Ben White. Ben White looks a bit old school, doesn't he? With his white shorts, white socks and black boots. He looks very old school, doesn't he? Kind of like that. None of these fancy coloured boots for him. Anyway, he's coming forward again, Ben White. He managed to dig a cross out as well. Marino was attacking it, but it was a good defensive header, actually. And now Liverpool trying to play their way out of trouble. It comes back to Marino, and then a shot comes in from the edge of the box, but straight into the arms of Alisson. And he's gone along with that clip looking for Mo Salah. And Miles Lewis-Skelly battles away well. And Miles Lewis-Skelly's had a good game against Salah today. And he's won a free kick. Big test for the teenager, really, isn't it? Up against the top goal scorer in the Premier League. And he's handled himself really well, hasn't he, Miles Lewis-Skelly, once again. Incredible season for the teenager. Trossard now over on that far side. Seems to have switched over that side now. He's moved all over the place, isn't he, Trossard? Anyway, Martin Ødegaard now, as the shade descends across Anfield with, of course, this new stand on this near side. It's only sunny right over on that far right-hand wing for Arsenal. Where Arsenal are attacking, that's where the sun is now. The only sun that's left out there on the pitch. The rest of the ground is, the rest of the pitch is in shade. And Martin Ødegaard now bringing the ball forward over on that far side. Threads the ball through to Martinelli. Oh, that's a great tackle on him there by Conor Bradley. He's gone down. Don't think that's a penalty. I just think that was a really good tackle. We'll have a look at this again. Martin Ødegaard driving that Liverpool defence, threaded the ball through, and Conor Bradley got there first. It's going to be a corner to Arsenal. Yeah, it was a good tackle, wasn't it? It was a good tackle there by the Liverpool defender. Martinelli still down inside the penalty area. But the referee's not giving you a penalty, mate. You might as well get up. In fact, he's now getting to his feet, being helped up by Virgil van Dijk. I mean, Bradley did catch him afterwards, but he won the ball quite cleanly. It was a really good defensive tackle, actually. And anyway, Liverpool now making some substitutions. Arne Slot's maybe had enough of this second half performance on Liverpool, which has been quite poor. So it's going to be Darwin Núñez, Alexis McAllister and Trent Alexander-Arnold all coming on for Liverpool now. Well, it's going to be probably after this Arsenal corner, which Bukayo Saka is going to take over on that far side, plays it short, gets it back. Saka inside the penalty area, dinks a cross in, a header from point blank range from William Saliba, and it's been deflected over. In fact, there may well have been an offside from Saka over on that far side. Well, what was there? Was he offside? Let's have a look here. No, he wasn't, I don't think. And the cross was deflected, and William Saliba under pressure from Konate couldn't put that in. The cross was deflected, which made it awkward, actually. And then Saliba's head has come off Konate there. And with 25 minutes to play, in fact, it wasn't offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted had Saliba scored. It would have been a corner otherwise, because it clearly came off the Liverpool defender. Now they'll make those substitutions, Liverpool. Looks like Cody Gakpo's going off. Didn't really have much impact in the second half, did he? And Darwin Núñez is coming on. Cody Gakpo with that first goal Played well in the first half, I thought, and then didn't really get the ball in the second half, did he? Who else is coming off? You imagine it's probably going to be Conor Bradley. Actually, Curtis Jones is going off. So Gakpo's being replaced by McAllister. Curtis Jones is being replaced by Trent, who's probably going to play in midfield then. And Darwin, Harvey, Conor Bradley, sorry, he's going off. Alexander-Arnold at right back. And Liverpool making the changes. And Trent Alexander-Arnold gets an applause from the Liverpool fans. That's nice to see, isn't it? At the end of the day, there's nothing, he served the club well, hasn't he? And, no player stays at a club forever, do they? And it happens. You just have to get over it, don't you? So Gakpo, Bradley and Jones are off. McAllister, Alexander-Arnold and Núñez are on. And is that going to make a difference to Liverpool? They've been quite poor in the second half. Anyway, Salah now tries to thread the ball straight through to Darwin Núñez, but it wasn't a very good ball, actually. And Raya's long kick is just going to be headed away there by Ibrahima Konate, who's shown far too much strength there for Martinelli. Terry says, what a player McAllister is. Indeed, he is. Very, very good player. And is he going to be the player that makes a difference for Liverpool, who haven't really got going since half-time, you have to say. We are now midway through this second half. And it is still Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. And, yeah. Anyway, Liverpool now with a little bit more momentum maybe in this game. Following those substitutions, and Arsenal will be much better in the second half. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, Martinelli's come short this time to pick that ball up. Touches it off to Miles Lewis-Skelly. But are Arsenal heading for what would be only a third away defeat of the season in the Premier League? Well, it would, of course, be a third consecutive defeat in a row, wouldn't it? Following the defeat to Bournemouth and, of course, PSG. It had to be a fourth defeat in a row because we lost to PSG in the first leg, didn't we? As well, the week before. So, what was the game before PSG? The first leg against PSG. That was a draw against someone, wasn't it? Was it Brentford? Can't remember now. Anyway, we haven't won for a while, have we? So maybe we need to get something here, don't we? With just 2 games to go this season after this one. And Arsenal playing around at the back and Liverpool now pressing a bit more aggressively, which they hadn't done really in the second half at all, had they? Jacob Kiwior brings the ball clear, but it wasn't a good pass. Although Arsenal do pick up the loose ball, Martin Odegaard over on that far side. Terry says the game is very slow. It is very slow. It is very slow. And I say it's got a friendly feel to it, hasn't it? Anyway, Trent Alexander-Arnold now in possession for Liverpool. Finds Mo Salah, gets it back again. Plays the ball into midfield to Gravenberch, but that's not a great touch from Gravenberch. And Arsenal now pick the ball up. Martin Odegaard inside the centre circle, plays it out to Bukayo Saka on that far side. Bukayo Saka gives it back to Martin Odegaard, tries a shot from distance, and he's hit the woodwork, and Mikel Merino scored. Surely he's offside though, is he? Oh, he's not offside. The goal's been given. It was Martin Odegaard's effort. Did he hit the bar? And Mikel Merino has dived, headed it in. The rebound. He looked like he might have been offside, but I don't think he is. And Arsenal have completed the comeback. You think, although Liverpool aren't very happy, I don't know if there's going to be a VAR check. Was he offside or not? I'm not sure if he was. Let's have a look at the replay. The ball was played back there from Saka to Martin Odegaard. Don't think he is offside. Actually, Alisson touched it onto the bar. And then Mikel Merino's diving, headed it in. It's quite tight, but I'm not sure if he is offside, actually. Anyway, VAR are going to obviously make the final decision Actually, Alisson pushed it onto the post. That was a good save. But Mikel Merino's there to head in the rebound, although there is some debate about a potential offside. And the Arsenal fans are celebrating behind the goal. I'm not quite sure what they're celebrating exactly, but anyway, the goal's been given, I think. Terry said diving there looked offside. Yeah, it did look offside, but I think the goal's been given. Onside, it says. Trent was playing him onside. That's a strange angle of that, though, isn't it? To be honest, I don't know. Anyway, it has been given. It is 2-2. And Phil says, yes, I'm not quite sure what we're getting excited about. We do know Liverpool have won the league, don't we? Regardless of whether we win this game or not. We do know that, don't we? But, I mean, to be fair, we played a lot better in the second half. And we've got it back to 2-2. And maybe we might win at Anfield for the first time since 2012. Who knows? And maybe we'll win a game from 2-0 down at half-time in the Premier League for the first time since March 2008. That would be something, wouldn't it? Anyway, Liverpool have made those substitutions, so let's see if they'll make a difference, because they've been really poor in the second half of Liverpool, there's no doubt. They've dropped their level, haven't they? Whether they thought this game was won or whether they just decided they're not really bothered anymore, I'm not sure. But, you know, we've stepped up slightly. They've dropped their level slightly, and that's what's made the difference. Anyway, Gravenberch just won a free kick. It was a foul by Thomas Partey. We've got, 18 minutes to play. There's still time for someone to win this game. And who knows if maybe we can complete the comeback. Anyway, Liverpool have never lost a game, it says here, in Premier League history at Anfield, having been 2-0 up at half-time. But they might be about to lose this one. Who knows? Not that it's going to make any difference at all. They'll still be champions. But it has been a much better second half from Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. David Raya goes long, looking for Saka through the middle, but he can't get there. And it was him and Andrew Robertson there. It was 50-50 there, I think. Anyway, they're coming forward again, Liverpool. Not that they've come forward much in the second half, have they? Attacking the cop, they've been pretty poor. Anyway, Alexander-Arnold pings the ball forward. It's not a bad ball either. And Darwin Núñez tried to get on the end of it, but couldn't get it under control. And it's gone out for a goal kick. It was a decent ball, actually, and Darwin Núñez couldn't quite get it under control, could he? Phil says we need to tie up Champions League spot still. We could lose our last 3 games. I still think we'll get top 6. You know, you've got to look at Chelsea now, obviously lost today, so they're probably not going to do it. Aston Villa are too far behind. I mean, I think the worst case is we'll finish 5th, anyway. I don't think we will. I still think we'll finish 3rd or 4th regardless. I think the Champions League's pretty much sewn up, isn't it? I know mathematically it isn't, but when you look at who's playing who in the remaining games and stuff like that, you know, I don't think it's a problem getting in the Champions League. And to be honest with you, I said this the other night after we lost to PSG. When you look at it long term, in terms of like, don't just look at the short term of, we're going to be in the Champions League next season. Look at it long term. If we were to finish 6th this season, they could sack Mikel Arteta. And that would be better for the long-term benefit of the club, because then we might get someone in who can actually take us to the next level. Whereas if we get in the Champions League, we'll keep this manager again, and we'll go through the same stuff again next season and the season after. It's going to be like the latter years of Arsene Wenger. They kept Arsene Wenger as manager until he didn't qualify for the Champions League 2 years in a row, and then they got rid of him. And I think that's what's going to happen again. So the only way we'll get rid of him... Oh, Liverpool nearly scored there, actually. That was Gravenberch there cutting in from the far side and just fired wide. So the short-term benefit of the Champions League, which we're not going to win, the short-term benefit of that is overridden for me by the long-term benefit of getting a new manager. And the only way we'll do that is if we aren't in the Champions League, if we don't qualify. So I don't think it would necessarily be a disaster because, you know, well, I just don't think it would. But anyway, the Champions League is only about money. It isn't about anything else, is it? It's not about prestige really anymore when there's 150 teams in it now. And some of the teams that are in the Champions League, you know, you look at it and think, well, what is going on? And they're looking at more expanding it than anything else. So being in the Champions League isn't the prestige it used to be. It's literally just the money. And they're also making some substitutions. Kieran Tierney and Ricardo Calafiore are coming on. So 2 defenders when we're drawing the game. How many times have we seen this? You know, we've got some attackers on the bench. We've got Ethan Nwaneri. We've got Nathan Butler-Adeji. We've got Raheem Sterling, attacking players. We could bring on to try and win the game. No, we bring on defenders because Mikel Arteta is too risk averse and won't want to risk losing. But sometimes you have to risk losing to win. That's what you have to do. And this manager, unfortunately, doesn't do that enough. Well, he doesn't really do it at all. He doesn't take those risks that you need to win games because sometimes it might not work and sometimes you end up losing. You do. But sometimes you've got to take that. I think, you know what, I would rather say Trossard's just hobbled off anyway. So he's one of the players that's gone off. I'm not sure who the second player to go off is going to be. We're about to find out. So Kieran Tierney's coming on. Surprised he's still an Arsenal player. It's Ben White that's going off for the other one. As Terry says there, why not go for the win? It don't really matter if we lose. No, it does exactly. I would go for the win. So it's Trossard and White for Tierney and Calafiore. So 2 defenders coming on, 1 attacker and 1 defender going off. Because Mikel Arteta's happy with a 2-2 draw at Anfield, he'll say, well, we're the best team in the world and we were 2-0 down at the Champions and we came back and got a draw. And he'll big that up as a great result. Well, it isn't because it doesn't matter. Anyway, Luis Diaz is going off now for Liverpool. And Diogo Jota, who scored a few goals against Arsenal, hasn't he? Maybe the manager's seen something there and thought, you know what, maybe he can score the goal. But Liverpool have been really poor in the second half, there's no doubt. And it's almost like they've just gone through the motions. They just want to get this season over and done with now, don't they? They've won the league, they've got their medals, they've got the trophy. And that's, you know, how you can lift yourself for the games after that is very difficult, isn't it? And, you know, the second half, they've not been able to, Liverpool, at all. And we've so far managed to take advantage to get ourselves back to 2-2. But we've just made a mistake at the back, trying to play it out. And Liverpool are in here. Are they going to get a goal? Oh, and it just missed there from Darwin Núñez. Fires it wide. And there's a yellow card for somebody. Oh, it's the 2 yellows. It's Mikel Merino who's been sent off for a second yellow card. And now he's pretending to be injured as well. And Arsenal are down to 10 men once again. It's Mikel Merino. I mean, we're trying to play it out from the back. And Merino made a complete mess of that, didn't he? And he's obviously got you can see what the second yellow card's for. He flew in on a tackle there. In fact, that's almost a red on its own, isn't it? He was stretching there. But actually, it's not a red. It's definitely a yellow card, though, isn't it? You can't have too many complaints. I know it was on that second one there. That was a clumsy challenge on Szoboszlai, wasn't it? And Mikel Merino has been sent off for 2 yellow cards. The Arsenal goal scorer, the second goal. And Arsenal just bought on loads of defenders. So we don't need to worry, Mick. We've just bought on loads of defenders. We're fine. We're absolutely fine. You watch, you'll take off an attacker now and bring on another defender. And Mikel Merino shaking his head as he walks off. He can't really have too many complaints. When you would have been booked, you go flying into a tackle like that. But that was Arsenal's fault. They're trying to play it out from the back. And now Mikel Arteta is getting some instruction from his coaches what he's going to do about this. To be honest with you, keep it as it is. Keep it as it is. You don't need to make too many changes here because we've already got about 10 defenders on the pitch. So we don't need any more, do we? You can just drop one of the midfielders back a little, one of the attacking players back into midfield, can't you? Anyway, it's a free kick to Liverpool on the edge of the box. That is the outcome of all of this. And Trent Alexander-Arnold is over this, and we know how good he can be from a set piece. So Liverpool have got a chance here to not only get back in front here, but obviously if Arsenal down to 10 men for the closing stage, it's a ready-made excuse, isn't it, for Mikel Arteta and all his little chums, you know, to make an excuse for another defeat if that's what happens. Anyway, Trent with his free kick. Arsenal got a wall lined up. There's a player lying behind the wall. Can't see who that is, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. There's a lot of ridiculous things in modern football. Anyway, Trent is going to take this free kick on the edge of the box, curls it in. Oh, it was just wide, actually. Looked like it had gone in for a minute. Oh, wouldn't it be a moment for Trent to score in front of the Kop after the stick that he's been getting over the last few weeks? He got it round the wall, but he couldn't quite. He bent away, didn't he? He couldn't quite get the accuracy right on that. And it remains 2-2 here at Anfield. And I can guarantee you there'll be, if this game finishes like this and Arsenal end up with a result here, the first thing that's going to be mentioned is, oh, you see, we haven't lost to one of the big six teams again this season. Like that matters. Yeah, honestly. The levels that our fan base have gone to try and justify failure, I just can't get my head around it at all. You know, we should be demanding more as fans. We should be demanding more. I'll never be satisfied with what we've seen the last few seasons because it's not good enough. We've got to be able to take it that next level, get it over the line, and that's what we need to do anyway. Salah now coming forward for Liverpool, obviously are going to fancy their chances of Martin Odegaard just pulled out of a tackle there on Mo Salah. The Arsenal captain just pulled out of a tackle. What an absolute twat he is. Anyway, cross comes in from Liverpool. That's a terrible cross. He's gone behind for a goal kick. That was Andrew Robertson. It was his cross that actually created the opening goal. And Liverpool making another substitution now. And it is going to be Harvey Elliott to come on for Gravenberch. Terry says, I quite like this Elliott who's coming on. Wasn't he the player? Isn't he the youngest ever player in the Premier goal scorer in the Premier League or something? Was that him? He's got some mad hair going on, hasn't he, Harvey Elliott? That's proper mad hair, mate. What are you doing with your hair? I mean, I know you've probably got naturally curly hair, but I don't know. That's just like weird. Sorry, it just looks weird, mate. But anyway, he is a good player. You're right, but his hair's a bit strange. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Arsenal. David Raya has gone long. Konate will head that away all day long because that's what he does. And now Liverpool can come forward again. It's Diogo Jota. Got some space. It's opened up in front of Diogo Jota. So he tries a shot and he's just pulled it wide. And suddenly Liverpool now are having some chances in the closing stages of this game due to the fact that we are down to 10 players as much as anything else. And Jota there, it opened up for him, didn't it? The Arsenal defence all seemed to move out of his way. And he couldn't quite get the accuracy on that into that bottom corner. It's gone wide. And you do feel now as though Liverpool have got the momentum with them in this game. And even though they're not playing particularly well, they are probably going to be able to get this one over the line, you think. David Raya has kicked the ball out for another throw. I don't know how many times that's happened today. Anyway, it is a throw to Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold throws it to captain Virgil van Dijk, and now Andrew Robertson over on that far side. Touches the ball back to Szoboszlai for Liverpool. He clips out this near side to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Gets it under control, plays out line to Mo Salah. Now it's Harvey Elliott's just come on, gives it back to Mo Salah in the box. Mo Salah's done well, tried to wriggle around 2 or 3 players, wasn't able to do so. And Arsenal have now won a free kick just outside the penalty area. Kiwior it was that was fouled. And Mo Salah ran into a bit of a brick wall there, didn't he? And in the end, it's a free kick to Arsenal. We're into the last 5 minutes now of normal time. The last 5 minutes. Are we going to get a winning goal? And if we are, who are we going to get a winning goal from? That is the question, isn't it? I guess we'll find out in the next few minutes. Anyway. Let's see what happens. Liverpool now coming forward over on that far side. Andrew Robertson plays it up the line. And there's an offside though there against Darwin Núñez, who smiles at the linesman. Not sure if he agreed with that decision. Well, obviously he didn't. But anyway, it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And we are closing in now on what looks like it's going to finish in a draw. Which I suppose at half-time isn't a bad result at the end of the day, is it? And we've had to play this out with 10 men. We've gone very defensive, but we'd made those substitutions when we said 11 men, so it wasn't like Mikel Arteta had made substitutions to try and win the game, did he? Let's be honest. Anyway, Liverpool coming forward now. Can they find a way to get the goal to win the game? But they won't, because Calafiore steps in. And now it's played out to Trossard on the far side. Maybe Arsenal can try and win it. Calafiore is trying to get in there, but Alisson will deal with that. And it's going to be a goal kick to Liverpool. Last 3 minutes of normal time. And Zinchenko is going to come on. You've got to love Mikel Arteta, haven't you? Got to love him. It's Bukayo Saka that's going off. Not a great game from Bukayo Saka again tonight. I'm not sure he's 100% fit, actually. Certainly doesn't look like he is, does he? And he's sort of hobbling off a little bit as well. And it's going to be Zinchenko coming on for the last few minutes here at Anfield. Bukayo Saka doesn't look very happy, does he? But it looks like he's carrying an injury. And that might well explain why he's been taken off. Anyway, Virgil van Dijk now in possession for Liverpool. You can see a late goal coming for Liverpool, can't you? You can absolutely see it. Anyway, Harvey Elliott plays up the line, so Mo Salah couldn't, or he did keep it in, but couldn't keep possession. And Arsenal can't keep possession either. And Thomas Partey has committed a foul. As he no, referee says no, it looked like a foul actually. So well done, referee. And in the end, David Raya goes long towards halfway. It's headed forward, and now it's Darwin Núñez over on that far side, cutting in field. Thought about a shot, plays it off instead. There's going to be a shot now from distance from Szoboszlai again. We know he can hit one. That actually hit Zinchenko, but now it's come back to Mo Salah on this near side. Mo Salah inside the penalty, goes around the outside, chips across in, and Arsenal defenders in a bit of a mess. And there's, it looked like it was going to be a goal there at the far post. It was Andrew Robertson came in, and it's gone wide. And Arsenal didn't defend that particularly well. Mo Salah did well there. He's not had a great game either, has he, Mo Salah? But he did well there. It was a cross there, and Andrew Robertson really should have scored. He's took it early on the volley. Had the whole goal to aim at, and in the end, he's just placed it wide. And Liverpool, although they've not played particularly well in this game, Liverpool, they have missed 3 or 4 big chances, haven't they? They could easily, or maybe should easily have got a couple more goals. But anyway, as things stand, it looks as though the game is going to end in a draw. And I suppose that's not a bad result for Arsenal. Not that it really matters too much. And again, David Raya has kicked the ball straight out for a throw. He's done that 100 times in this game, David Raya. What are you on, mate? And he was crap for the second goal as well. Anyway, Thomas Partey is getting himself in a bit of a muddle, but managed to get out of trouble. And Martin Odegaard's kept the ball for Arsenal. Thomas Partey again plays it in to Zinchenko, who's done quite well there. Holds on to the ball, and that's pretty much all Arsenal need to do now. We've played the 90 minutes virtually. We're going to find out how much stoppage time there is. How long Arsenal got to hold on with 10 men. And there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, 5 minutes to play. And Trent Alexander-Arnold on this near side for Liverpool finds Mo Salah. Arsenal got 5 minutes to hang on. We've given up all hope of trying to win this game. And the ball's over on that far side. Now it's with Alexis McAllister finds Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now it's with Mo Salah running at Miles Lewis-Skelly again, plays it back to Harvey Elliott. Going to try a shot, tried to bend it into the top corner, but it's gone over the crossbar into the cop, and it's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. Just opened up for him a little bit there, Harvey Elliott, but he couldn't quite keep the shot down. It went over the top of the crossbar into the fans behind the goal. It's a goal kick. We've played a minute and a half after 5 minutes of stoppage time. So it's a 5 minute seems a lot. Yeah, it probably does. I mean, I don't know. You get a few substitutions and stuff like that. It always adds to the amount of stoppage time they play. Of course, there's been some rather dramatic goals in stoppage time at Anfield, hasn't there, over the years between these two teams. We can remember one in particular, can't we, in our favour. There's been a few for Liverpool as well that I can remember. Anyway, Harvey Elliott now brings the ball forward. His little legs, plays up this near side, finds Mo Salah. Mo Salah running at the Arsenal defence again. He's inside the penalty area, cuts inside. He's done well, Mo Salah there, but he can't get the shot away because there's too many Arsenal defenders around him. And anywhere will do, and it's just hoofed out. It's going to be a throw. We've played 2 minutes of the 5, and Liverpool now in full-on attack mode. Terry says Elliott's hair looks like one of those brushes you use to clean under the rim of the toilet. Yeah, it does actually. Yeah. Anyway, Mo Salah now again running at the Arsenal defence. Oh, that was a miskick clearance there from Martinez. The cross comes in, but it's headed out. And Arsenal under a lot of pressure now, as you would expect with 10 players. Liverpool want to try and get a win here at Anfield. It's not their last home game, of course. They do have one more to come on the last day of the season, but they want to win this one anyway if they can. And indeed, they should have won, really, shouldn't they, from 2-0 up. Anyway, they got the ball inside the Arsenal penalty area. But again, a number of Arsenal defenders back. And Kieran Tierney brings the ball out. But there's no one forward for Arsenal. Although he plays the ball into the Liverpool half, Alisson's got all the time in the world. We've got 2 minutes left of stoppage time to hang on. And hang on is pretty much all our ambitions are now. Trent Alexander-Arnold, very central position, dinks across towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Everybody missed it, including Darwin Núñez at the far post. If he'd got any touch on that, it would have been a goal. David Raya missed it. Diogo Jota missed it. And then at the far post, it was also missed by Darwin Núñez. That's a great ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold there. Jota couldn't get a touch on it. Raya completely missed it. Darwin Núñez threw himself at it, and he couldn't quite get anything on it. Had he got a touch there, I mean, it was nowhere near him, really, to be honest. But had he managed to get a touch, he would have scored. Terry says, how many chances Liverpool going to miss? Yeah, they have missed a few. They have missed a few in this game. And again, David Raya's kicked it straight out. What is he doing? Is that a tactic that Arsenal want to do, just for David Raya, just to kick the ball out at every opportunity? Is that what we're doing? Because that is just ridiculous. He's done that about 10 times in this game. Oh, Liverpool just giving the ball away. And suddenly Arsenal have got a counter-attack on here. Martin Odegaard is a player over with Zinchenko. Martin Odegaard has put it wide in the final minute of stoppage time. And a chance for the 10 men to win at Anfield for the first time since 2012. And now Liverpool will get one more chance, maybe on the counter-attack, as the game just got a little bit stretched, which won't be what Mikel Arteta would want, would he, at this point in the game? But Arsenal on a counter-attack then almost won it. Now Mo Salah goes around inside the penalty. He's won a corner for Liverpool. This will be their last chance. It was Kieran Tierney who managed to shuffle the ball out. And Martin Odegaard pulled that wide. I think Alisson would have saved it if it was on target anyway. But it is a corner now to Liverpool. This will be their last chance. We've played the 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's going to be Alexis McAllister. Are Liverpool going to win it right at the death? Or can Arsenal hang on for this point? It's whipped in towards the edge of 6-yard. Header comes in. David Raya saves it. The rebound's in. I don't think it's going to count, though. It's Andrew Robertson who scored. And I think it's been disallowed. And Was it a foul? Was it offside? Not really sure. I suppose VAR will be checking it anyway, as they always do. What happened here? Is it a foul? What's happened? It was Van Dijk's header. David Raya saves it. Was Andrew Robertson offside? Is that what the issue is? I can't see too much wrong anywhere else. I mean, it's a bit of pushing and shoving in the box. Of course there is. Van Dijk's header. It's just whether or not Andrew Robertson is offside or onside. We had a goal disallowed for offside, didn't we? Actually, no, we didn't. Our goal was given. And this will probably be the final action of this game anyway. I think the goal's been disallowed. I mean, there was lots going on in the penalty area there. Van Dijk's header. And Andrew Robertson was offside. Was it a foul by Canate? I think it was a foul by Canate. Anyway, the goal's disallowed. We've played now 7 minutes of stoppage time. You do feel as though that will be that. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. That would have been the last act. Well, that was the last action of the game. It would have been a very dramatic late winner. Instead, it's finished there at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. And Liverpool were definitely a better team in the first half. They scored 2 quick goals from Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz. And at half-time, it looked as though Arsenal heading for another defeat. But in the end, the second half was much better. Martinelli put us back in it when he headed home at Leandro Trossard's cross. And then another headed goal, actually. 3 of the 4 goals in this game were headers. This one was Mikel Merino. Martin Odegaard's shot was pushed onto the post by Alisson. And then Mikel Merino followed up to head it into the empty net. Again, it was a VAR decision, gave the goal. And Mikel Merino then got sent off for 2 yellow cards. And in the end, Arsenal had to hang on. And Liverpool did have a goal disallowed with the final kick of the game as well. And it would have been a rather dramatic ending. But in the end, it's finished in a draw, which is, it was a bit of a nothing game, let's be honest. And Arsenal have managed to, Arsenal, the best team in Europe, have come from 2-0 down to get a draw against the champions, which kind of just backs up that what Mikel Arteta said, didn't he, about being the best team in Europe? Because only the best team in Europe come back from 2-0 down away at the champions and get a draw. So, he's right, isn't he? Anyway, Liverpool have won the league and we may still finish second, although it's a little bit closer than it was. So let's just have a quick look, see how that league table, how that leaves it all. Let's have a look. So we've got 68 points. Newcastle have got 66. Man City have got 65. And then Chelsea 63, Villa 63 and Forest 62. They are the teams. So there's 6 points between us and Forest. So we should be okay there. 5 points between us and Villa and Chelsea. We should be all right there. Obviously, Man City and Newcastle are within touching distance, of course, and we play Newcastle next week. And should they win at the Emirates again, they would go above us in second place. And if Manchester City were to win their game, they would go above us as well. And we will drop down to 4th going into the final game of the season. So yeah. Who are Man City playing, actually? We've got Newcastle, Liverpool playing Brighton. Sorry, it's not Liverpool to worry about, it's Man City. Sorry, who are Man City playing next weekend? They're playing Bournemouth at home on a Tuesday for some reason. And then obviously it's the last game of the season where we of course play Southampton away, Newcastle home to Everton, and Man City are away at Fulham. So anyway, we could be 4th, couldn't we, by this time next week, should we lose to Newcastle. But it's finished here at Anfield. A bit of a nothing game in many ways, although quite a lot happened in it. Liverpool missed a few chances. We had a player sent off. We came back from 2-0 down. A bit of a nothing game, but I suppose for the neutral, it might have been an okay game to watch. And yeah, 4 goals and a share of the point. So we'll take that, I suppose, in the circumstances. But yeah, not really the greatest game, was it? But there you go. Anyway, there's not really much more to say, is there? You know, we've got 2 games left. Let's just get this season over with. You know, we are going to finish top 5. I don't think there's much doubt about that now. I can't, even if we lost our last 2 games, we've probably got enough points on the board now. And say, looking at who the others are playing each other, so I think we'll be okay. Obviously, a win next week against Newcastle, and we're there. The job will be done. But Newcastle are in pretty good form, aren't they? You know, they've got a hold over us as well, haven't they? Certainly this season, and even previous seasons as well. Recently, they've done well against us. So, but let's see. We'll worry about that next week. For the time being, it's finished Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2, and yeah, we got away with a draw there from 2-0 down, which is a decent effort, I suppose. But it's all a bit irrelevant, really, isn't it, in the overall scheme of things? We ended up empty-handed. Liverpool have won the league, and yeah, it's all a bit frustrating, isn't it? Anyway, on this, thank you for spending time here with me on this sunny Sunday afternoon. Arsenal are still second in the table. We've got 68 points, which is not really good enough, is it? But we do have a 5-point cushion on 5th place Chelsea, so you know we're probably going to be okay there, aren't we? Anyway, it is what it is. Thank you. I say thank you for watching today. If you've enjoyed the show, please give us a like. Please consider subscribing. We'll be next live on the channel on Friday. On Friday, will we, for the Arsenal Women's Show? I don't know if it will actually Friday, because we've got the Champions League final the week after, so we may not do anything next week. We may wait until the week of the Champions League final, do an Arsenal Women's Show for you. So our next live show will probably be on next Sunday against Newcastle, which of course in my household is quite a big game. It's the rival game that we've got here, and of course there's a little bit riding on it as well for that 2nd place. So join us for that next Sunday. That could be quite good. So let's watch that one and see where we are. And then of course we will build up towards the Champions League final for the Arsenal women. That is going to be some occasion, isn't it? So you just want to join us for that. Terry says, at least it was more exciting than painting the kitchen. Only thing is, I can't be bothered to make another start on it again now. Well, just chill out now. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thank you for watching. The game has finished in a draw. Do we care? Not really, but we didn't lose. I suppose that's one good thing. So yeah, we'll be back next Sunday, of course, with the Newcastle game, the final home game of the season. And I say it's the shootout for 2nd place, isn't it? We had one yesterday for the women. We came through that. We've got one for the men now against Newcastle. If they beat us, they will be 2nd in the table. So we need to get that one done, don't we? Terry says, Richard, thanks for this afternoon. Have a great week. Grat, take care. Indeed. Grat says, well, now I need some cash on my account. Time to head to the store. Get me some potato salad, ciabatta bread, and regular salad lettuce, making some sort of pork chop burgers. Well, okay. Well, you enjoy that, my friend. You enjoy that. That must be a Swedish delicacy, is it? Pork chop burgers. I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Rest of the sunshine while we get it, because they're going to soon start to stop all that nonsense. So yeah, join us next week. We will look forward to that, and of course there is a Champions League final to come as well, which is going to be exciting, isn't it? So yeah, join us for all of that. Thank you for watching today, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Actually, just before we go, we want to get Mikel Arteta's final words, don't we, on the performance today in the game?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
The second half was a bit better, to be fair. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Take it easy. Enjoy your week in the sun. See you soon.